Hello, everybody, this is Purge, and I'm going to be bringing you guys, that's it, a replay commentary. The reason that I wanted to go over Spectre this game is because it's a decent hero at the moment, and it's going to give me lots of opportunity to talk about our Lord and Savior, Radiance. Now, Spectre has been seeing a little bit more play in the pro scene since the patch, and the reality is that they aren't all buying Radiance, but because Radiance got buffed so much and I bought it this game, I thought it'd give us a good opportunity to talk about it. Radiance has been kind of in the dumpster for a while, but just because it's like very expensive compared to the power that like Battle Fury gives you for some heroes, and a lot of melee carries have generally been a bit more popular, and that's actually not true. It's been range carries in the last patch. Why are Battle Fairies better? I don't know. Maybe I don't know exactly why Battle Fairies are better, but yeah, range carries were definitely the talk of the town in the last patch. They're your Lenas and Drows and stuff like that. But if you are a melee carry, Battle Fairy can be pretty effective because it allows you to farm quite rapidly, and then when you do end up man fighting those range carries, you can actually kill them, typically with that extra farm speed. But if not those, Maelstrom is usually there for the range heroes. But the reason Radiance got, and then Radiance gets buffs, which is where we are now. So Radiance is much less expensive. It's only 3,400 for the relic now, instead of 3,750. Used to be 3,800 for a really long time, which puts Radiance's total cost at 4,700, which is really not much. I mean, a Desolator is 35, I guess. Still a little bit expensive as an item, but the coolest thing about it is the evasion and the mischance that it gives you. It gives you 15% evasion, and then it also gives 15% mischance for your opponents. So if we do the math really quick, it is 0.85 times 0.85. So, is that really true? That's like really fucking good evasion. It's 15%, and then it's 15% of the remaining. Yeah, so it says 72% accuracy. So that means it's giving you 25. It's a 27.75% accuracy, or evasion, which is really high against heroes and creeps and stuff.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So that's pretty incredible amounts of evasion. So even though it doesn't give you any raw stats like some of the other items do, even though it doesn't give you HP regen like a Battle Fury does, it still ends up being a huge amount of survivability that it provides your hero. On top of the fact that, of course, you have the benefits of it just doing lots of damage and increasing your farm speed, which is all really fantastic. This game I was laning against a Wraith King for some reason. It was kind of a weird game. This game was actually about a week old. I played this one off stream, I believe, a little bit after the patch came out. Getting first blood was very nice. Spectre's benefits as a hero are generally basically just staying alive and doing damage by taking damage. But you don't necessarily have to play that way. Radiance kind of fits the hero kind of perfectly in a lot of ways, because what it does is it means that if I am close to them and they damage me, then I deal damage to them in an AoE with my passive. And if they don't damage me, my Radiance Burn still hurts them too, which is good. So those are the upsides of the hero. You don't have to go, like, there's basically, the build on Spectre has changed a lot because of the fact that the items that the hero builds have just kind of been a bit mediocre or goofy at times. Luckily he died there. That was close. I'm going for a Falcon Blade build though. The reason I'm doing this is because like, if we can just pause for a second while I think and talk about this. Basically, the way that Spectre farms has been kind of like messy and changed over time. There was a period where it was about blade mail, and you just kind of stand on creep waves and let them kill you, which killed them, and you do the same with like ancient stacks. You could do like agility builds where you just buy a lot of agility items, go like a Manta. Manta's pretty good because your illusions can proc Desolate, the pure damage, so Manta's still excellent on the hero. The problem is that Manta doesn't make you farm very fast. It just helps you do damage to heroes. So those are the dangerous thing, the options you have to make. But Radiance kind of just makes everything easier. Falcon Blade is another way. You get mana regen from it, and that mana regen allows you to cast Spectral Daggers, which allow you to farm. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage at up to 220, but it does do AoE damage, and this should be one of the ways that you think about farming. So the builds, like, it's just very important that when you're playing a hero like Spectre, whose build is not as straightforward, and there's been so many builds, that you don't make the wrong mistake with what items you buy. But the other ones, they still can work, and maybe some games are better than others. Like if I'm against a hero that does a lot of AoE damage, like Leshrac, then having a blade mail makes more sense, because I can then reflect damage back to that hero. Or if I'm playing against a gyro carry or something, and I know that he's going to use Rocket Barrage and do a shitload of damage to me, I can turn on my blade mail and offset that damage by dealing almost as much back to him. That's a good option, right? But if there isn't anything that like screams out to you, then going Falcon Blade I think is pretty safe. The one Wraith Band is safe. A Wand is safe because my hero is naturally tanky. All of those things I think are a fine way to think about the game. We are watching 1.5 speed, if that wasn't obvious. But I think it's just going to be a little bit better to accelerate things. I haven't made replay commentaries in a while, and I know I should make more of them. But sometimes when I start, I feel like it's going... like there's not enough to talk about. I don't know, like it's different to make replay commentaries in the year 2023 as it was when I first started making videos, just because it felt like there were so many things that people didn't know yet, and I wanted to teach them to them, so it just kind of ended up being a little... felt easier to make them in the past, I guess. But anyways, I'm relying on both dagger and my pure damage to do a lot of damage here. And then when I go to chase people down, same. I get the benefit of having all of that extra pure damage. It does 21 pure, which is quite a lot. I kind of have to back here because I'm tanking too much. I'm gonna bring myself a salve as well.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Gotta get these last hits, guys. Yeah, but you do desolate damage when people are by themselves, so there's basically the skill build on Spectre has been kind of a mix of different things. You can even go, I forgot about the Meteor Hammer build. That's another popular build that some people do. It's not popular, but it is done sometimes. There's just like so many freaking builds that this hero can do. A Meteor Hammer build is pretty cool because it gives you a lot of HP regen, and then you can use Meteor Hammer to like counter push waves and do AoE damage. This asshole sniped my courier again, which is a big bummer because that was my salve. I really needed that. Unfortunately, he did not bring me a tango, so this is definitely the scariest part of my laning phase here. I will have to take the damage. He should probably bully me a little bit harder. He's also trying to go for a Radiance build, which is dangerously risky. But luckily my Kunta came to gank, which is cool. I think I actually did miss him with the dagger, but the slow will stay on him, so it's fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now I get that desolate damage. Nice splash there. Luckily I managed to get the kill, which is great. Okay to hit him just a little bit. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal if I don't max out Dispersion. Dispersion is really solid, but like it's not like the most... This is amazing. The Kunk was like, do you want to go back and heal? And I was like, oh my god, yes I do. That felt amazing. Because then I come back to lane basically full HP, almost full mana. I lose a TP scroll, but that's okay. I've got Haunt. I could have also TP'd back and then Haunted back. That would have been an option, but this is still amazing. But yeah, like these extra advantages that you get from like a couple more points in Dispersion, they definitely help in like a really bad lane matchup where things are tough, but you don't have to do them. So it's kind of weird for the AM to be playing here. He has a Vanguard and Treads, but they do have like a weird lineup, right? They have an off lane, and they have a Luna too. They have like fucking 3 carries. This is a really weird... They had a really, really bizarre draft. This is like one of those things that happens at the start of the game. So anyways, if you're going for a Radiance build, it's one of the important things is that you don't just rush it. As like with any like greedy item like Midas or Battle Fear, Battle Fear is probably the one of the exceptions because it gives you so much HP regen that you can easily get away. I should have daggered for this earlier. That was really obvious watching it back now. But it's very important that you buy some small items to build into the Radiance. Like, I haven't really slowed down my Radiance by a massive amount to buy these items that I bought. The Falcon Blade gives me HP, which translates to damage reflection. It gives me mana regen. It gives me damage. It's all, like, a lot of good stuff for my hero. And then having Treads and Wand and Wraithband, these are all really good too. And this extra pure damage genuinely does help a lot, guys. It ignores armor, ignores magic resistance. It's beautiful stuff. See, look at all those little dagger thingies hitting him. And the first point does a lot of damage. Like, it scales pretty solid. Even just right-clicking the guy, kind of a lot of damage here. Excellent Knife Field there. I even went for 2 Desolates. You don't necessarily always want to do this. Most pros will rely on Dispersion, but I feel like there's something to be said about the extra pure damage, genuinely. It does a lot. It actually makes your right clicks kind of good. Somebody told me to haunt somewhere, free kill, they said. So I pressed it. And then they gave me a free kill. This was amazing. I got my mega kill streak for my Arcana. Woo! Watch out, guys. That Arcane boost also hit real good. Let me tell you. This guy put his tongue on me. My dagger hit both, which felt good. I really wanted to dive this, but then we saw Anti-Mage teleporting. I'm going to hit the Anti-Mage because I do pure damage to him. This is where having 3 points Desolate is really nice. Until they start fighting together. And then when my mana was drained, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel so good anymore. I'm going to briefly backpack that because what it does is gives me a little bit more HP regen. But at this point, the lane is done. And by the lane is done, I mean time to go back in, baby. Them having vision here was a little spooky. Yeah, I instead decided to go for this guy. Maybe this was a mistake, but he's a lot easier to kill. This was kind of like a lot of fighting for a Spectre, I felt like, but the amount of damage that I'm doing is pretty high. You can take a look at the fight recap to show you. Like, it was actually really... Why did it pick 6 Spectral Daggers and 18 Tread Switches? This counted like the previous fight as well, actually. So these numbers are a little bit weird because this was my haunt affecting like everybody on the map, but not to mention 6 Spectral Daggers, but the fact that I'm top DPSing in a fight is definitely abnormal. And your haunt is just better if you have Desolate. Like, haunt doesn't care about dispersion at all. I don't think I'm pretty sure your illusions don't even reflect dispersion. Quite sure that's the case. So they do get Desolate damage, however. So having attack speed for your hero, having Desolate levels, this is like a decent way to actually output damage in the early game. And I would say like this is basically a perfect early game for Spectre. My last sets could be a little higher, but my net worth, I promise, is good. Look at that. Top net worth is Spectre. Usually Spectre is more at like the 4,500 net worth. It's kind of like Morphling. Spectre's net worth isn't always the greatest at like the very start of the game. But the fact that I can like get through this and I'm the only regen that, or the only stat that I'm really missing is HP regen, to be honest. Every other stat I'm very safe in. And I can solve that problem by buying other regen sources. In reality, I shouldn't even still be in this lane. Usually it's much safer to ditch earlier, so the fact that I was able to stay felt good. Until this moment, it was kind of like, okay, well, if I trade with this guy, he's got lifesteal, I don't have lifesteal, I actually can't take hits from him. That's why I decided to back, but... Neutral items are usually where you solve your regen problem on this hero, because it gives you HP regen, or it gives you lifesteal. The Chipped Vest was a really good item for the hero. 5 stats does help a little bit in terms of that. Survivability, mana pool, things like that. I think this has generally a bit of a higher win rate, but the Spectral Dagger cooldown one is usually a bit stronger in terms of game impact because you're going to be doing more damage in team fights, basically. But I'm going to rely on my dagger, basically, to do damage here. Boy, did he die fast, huh? Unfortunately, I stacked that a 3rd time, which means they will probably farm it. I probably shouldn't have stacked it so many times, because realistically, they should always be taking this tower really early upon a lane happening. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It might have also, you could argue it's a mistake for me to skill stats over one of these two. but I kind of felt like I could get away. As long as you kill the creep wave, they basically can't push the tower, so I thought I could get away with the dagger. If they drop like plague wards or serpent wards or something, I don't commit to this, but
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures
always
are
nuke
fortified.
to the follow-up area. This one is definitely dead. Got one last hit and I did a little damage to the other guys, so this is fine. This slow was really powerful. If I remember correctly, I died here. I thought I was gonna die. Oh, I think I died here is what I did. I wanted these creeps, but this is just really greedy. I didn't really need to be here. Then I went agility treads because I thought I'll just kill him with pure damage. I know at some point in the game I fucked that up and he just kills me. Because I think that I'm so far ahead, I can do anything I want, is what I'm thinking basically. Maybe if I had more dispersion it would be a little bit more viable. I think he kills me right now. Yeah, this is when it comes. It also does not help that he's got this extra slow item, so he's slowing me extra, and there's no way I can fight him to the death because he has Vanguard. That was just overconfidence for me basically, and we lost our mid tower, and he's draining my mana. That sucked. I should have just gone to jungle. It was really bad. If I just go jungle, it's a lot safer. Anyway, he's a Vanguard build. Makes him pretty difficult to kill.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was cool.
Radiant's
kill by the
courier
homies.
has been killed.
I'm gonna TP top because there's a fat creep wave here. I still don't have a neutral item, which is weird. Definitely very weird. Ah. I should just be daggering this creep wave basically. It's very important that you do this when you play Spectre, otherwise your net worth is just not as high as it should be. Do we really just not have neutral items yet? This is partially because I just haven't jungled. I should have jungled by now. I also should have sent the courier. Oh, I did send it. Okay. But usually what you want to do, if you have a lot of Desolate like this, then you want to get the single one lower faster. So I killed the small one first, and then my attacks on the other ones are going to do way more damage. And then when you use dagger, what you should do is pull these out a little bit, and then use them to nuke through, like this, to the follow-up camp. That way you will nuke 2 camps instead of just 1. My first neutral item, the Ring of Aqua, the perfect item. So this is how you get from camp to camp a little bit faster and do a little bit more AoE damage. It's like a common thing that you should do in all games that you play, nuking 2 camps, 2 neutral camps instead of 1, because you're doing twice as much damage. It's another item that's excellent on Spectre. Occult Bracer is perfect because it gives you mana regen. Ooh, this house right now. Desperately trying to catch up. Luckily, he dies. I'm here for my pure damage. And farming.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And now we push.
Radiant's middle tower is
Cut
under
trees
attack.
while you're pushing towers to give you a better chance to see whether or not your
Radiant's
opponents are
middle
going to be
tower
there.
has fallen.
And now I briefly go back to hit creeps. I got another haunt point.
Radiant's
You could
middle
maybe
tower is
argue
under
that
attack.
instead of getting stats or maybe haunt that I should have more of these other levels, but and yeah, it's a custom Radiance icon because of the Arcana, which is cool. And now I'm gonna go push bottom because I'm a hard carry and I deserve this farm more than my other allies. I also get a Radiance animation too. This one looks pretty easy to me. Just do so much damage compared to like having no dispersion or desolate. But with that said, I'm very happy to level up dispersion now. Because I have more than enough damage from like Radiance Burn and dispersion. At this point, it's fine to go more tanky now. because it's the part of the game where I'm just a little bit less tanky. But having all this extra armor and raw HP makes my dispersion goes farther, it makes my radiance go farther, all that stuff. And from here on out, my farm speed is just going to be really high. If you've ever played Spectre with or without a Radiance, like, it's just night and day difference. Like, if you have Radiance, everything just dies around you, and if you're not playing with Radiance, it just gets a lot harder. I really thought he was going to go down. He did not, so I'm going to walk away. This is just kind of dangerous now, because I don't have that many allies nearby, and if they TP like 3, then I could definitely die. So I will do the safe thing and hit neutrals. I don't know if I clicked him. Yeah, looks like I did cover and click him. That was definitely vision. Strength treads whenever I'm about to take damage. It's a really good neutral item on most carries, but this game it's slightly worse than having an Aquila. And here's the item that virtually every pro Spectre buys. It's Ags. Ags is just really good for what Spectre can provide on the map. It allows you to basically get kills all the time without having to rely on Haunt. And if you've watched somebody like Skeeter play this hero before, or Skitter, sorry, the way Skitter plays the hero is very like jump across the map, blow somebody up, and then get out right away. Like very, very quick kills. And it's really hard to deal with. Here's the Wraith King. He also has a Radiance. I'm okay to hit him a little bit because he's really far from his base. My team shows up, and now we're going to get a double kill. I just kind of knew that I was going to be way stronger than him, basically. Like, by all means, he does damage. It's a little bit worrisome, but, I mean, I was at, like, 40-50% HP, and I fought him, you know? But that's because I'm by a tower, and he's far from his tower. So it was clear that that was going to go well for me, you know? I'm looking to Haunt here. That was so close. I don't think I did that bad, though. I jumped to the Luna first because she was more important. And wisely, the Shadow Shaman got out. But yeah, Ags is going to allow me to do that basically whenever I want. It basically makes a single target reality illusion on somebody that I can see. And then they also take a Spectral Dagger as well. So not only does it allow me to jump there and make an illusion that deals damage, it also does 220 damage plus slows them. So it's very good. And this is the best way to jungle with Radiance once again. You just kind of like walk between two camps. You have them walk back and forth. And don't even spend time hitting them if they'll die with a Radiance burn by the time you walk over. See, why would I even mess with them? Same thing here. If I want a dagger through everything. I want Spectral Dagger damage talent. I think the Desolate one has a higher win rate. But arguably the Spectral Dagger damage one is just better because when you use your Ags jump, you get a free attack anyway, or you get a free dagger anyway. So between using that, you can jump to the illusion, and then you can use a second dagger. That's basically 200 more magic damage, which is why people generally get that. But the Desolate damage talent is not bad, certainly. But it's just easy to ignore it, I think, sometimes. But in late game scenarios, it's definitely a lot more damage, I suppose, because if you think about how much damage the Desolate does, it can add up quickly when you have a Manta. 12 bonus damage from 3 sources, you know, pretty quickly you're doing way more. This is crazy. This guy hit this creep here, and then crazy for me. I believe I died. Took a little long for my teammates to show, but probably my fault. Felt crazy that he was there, but my teammates maybe not on the same page as me. So we ended up not getting much of anything out of that fight.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Very close to my Ags though, which will be nice. That was very dead. Oh, they actually just killed their whole fucking team. Whoops. It's just right-clicking us down. I'll happy TP down here. It's a safe place to play. I didn't realize we hadn't taken their tier 1 tower yet. You are definitely supposed to do that a little earlier. I've been kind of farming greedy in weird places on the map though, so it's kind of my fault. Okay, Ags is finished now.
Dire's top
There's a
tower
word in the
is
mid
under
tier too.
attack.
See that with my replay hacks. Shall I?
Regeneration.
I was thinking about doing it. I clicked it right there, but then he got
Dire's top
fogged,
tower
so
has
it's too
fallen.
late.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a little hard for me to kill him. So it's very helpful that he glimmered on top of our shrine. Oh, they're coming from me. I guess I don't have a tier 2 anymore, huh? I just got a kill accidentally, which is cool. I should have definitely haunted before the missile hit me. That was really bad. Now we're losing our heroes. This game was actually a lot closer than I remembered it being. I remember it having like the best game, but like it's actually kind of close. And then I will use my haunt there, or my reality, to steal the kill, my shadow step, because it sent in an illusion and did 300 magic damage, so I got a free extra kill there, which was excellent for myself. And now they have a couple dead heroes. This is a little bit scary, but luckily they didn't defend it, so now I'm safe. Once the tower dies and nobody jumps you, you're like, okay, they didn't TP, or they're not going to. And then we go to the nearest farm, which is going to be the double camp. Farm both, so your Radiance is maximizing damage. Now, if I'm a little feeling less dangerous, I can play over here. But this camp isn't really close to another one, so you farm it one at a time. I could bounce back between the jungle and here, but it's a little unsafe without wards, so it's safer to go back to tri-camp. That's why I chose to come here. And here's my Yasha. The reason I sold my wand is because past 25 minutes, Wraith Band items are typically seen as better. Dragging the item onto the disruptor, getting some cast range. So yeah, sell wand. Even though it's a nice item, it's worth selling at this point because the extra armor that you get from Wraith Band and the agility and all that stuff is just better. And now I'm going for Manta. If you aren't going Radiance build, by the way, normally you go like maybe Falcon Blade, Wraith Band wand, maybe not Falcon Blade, but then you go Ags and then you go Manta as fast as you can. And the goal is basically that, like with Ags and Manta, you just see a guy and you jump onto him with Manta, which is a lot more damage. The upside to Radiance, though, is that you're going to farm a lot faster. I used Shadow Step to give him a dagger slow, but that was kind of bad. I bought Dust, though. Got that kill, which is great. I have some nice armor on me. If you are playing this build, there's no reason not to buy Dust. Especially when I already know that one of my opponents has a Glimmer.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm thinking about haunting for this. And it's just worth it, probably.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, the mischance didn't work out. He got a lot of gold for that one, but as long as I keep getting gold, it's pretty fine for me. I'm running out of mana because I'm fighting a lot, but anyways, the Radiance is just kind of good. Like, if I don't have Radiance, I still do decent damage. But with them being this many right-clickers, the Radiance in some ways is just really good this game. Like, maybe if they have less right-clickers, it doesn't feel as good because of the whole evasion thing. Them having to deal with evasion and having to get through the rest of my survivability is going to be difficult for him, but... And the other cool thing about Desolate is it actually hits no matter what, so even if you miss them, you still do the damage. This is a little bit dangerous to push this wave. I didn't get any of the creeps, which was a bummer, but... And I also lost my clarity a little bit early, but... This is crazy. This guy is insane for pushing here. We should be killing him. He's at a tier 2. I should just be using reality on him. I don't know, I'm not. I'm focused on creeps. I'm playing garbage. Like that guy, if I just reality that guy and have a dust, he dies. I still am not looking at him, which is wild. I cannot believe that I didn't look at him. That was garbage. Anyways, he should have been dead. I should have called, hey, fucking kill this support hitting our tier 2 mid. What is happening?
Dire's middle tower is under
But I've got
attack.
Manta now, so that means anybody that gets spotted is very jumpable for me. And I'm going to be able to do a lot of damage. I would probably... I'm a little surprised I didn't use that. Cloak of Flames is really good on me. But it's really... We have a lot of other tanky heroes too, so it's good on them too. I mean, extra attack speed and movement speed and evasion. I think that's why I used Elven Tunic, because I wanted the evasion. Because now I've got 15 and 16 evasion. So that puts me at 29 plus the extra 15 mischance. I should have manted earlier, that was bad. At this point he just dies though.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Trying desperately to help. Pretty good damage. No basher though. And then back to jungling. But yeah, I should have manted right away. If you jump on a Shadow Shaman, you should just manta. Because then he will not be able to disable you all. He can hex, hypothetically, he could hex an illusion and shackle the real one, but there's still like an illusion hitting him and it's not ideal for him. And now I'm buying Basher, so I don't have to deal with this shit again. And I've got more Dust as well. That way when I do want to jump on Shadow Shaman, he dies every time.
Is under attack.
It should just be Reality,
Radiant's top
Manta,
tower has fallen.
Dust. That guy dies. That's simple. And that's why I'm going to get it ready here. Should have had it ready already. This is where I realized he had Ags. I actually can't believe this guy's still here. I guess he had his thingy. Alright, those guys are dead. Sick. I'm gonna push these creeps. Quite a lot of damage. Alright, now I have way too many
Radiant's
items.
top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower.
My hero does have pretty good HP regen though. Your strength gain is solid.
Tempest of battle.
I'm just gonna go heal. And I sell Wraithband to replace with Basher. And then Abyssal finally. And now I replace Falcon Blade with Dust when I'm going for kills. And I'll go push out the safe lane. Generally, that's what you want to do with Spectre. You want to go push out the safer areas while your team goes, plays together. Or that way you can always show up. I don't necessarily need to be near my allies. That's why this hero probably works better for me, because I'm kind of bad at like choosing to stand near my allies than it is to farm. But if you do this, it will help your team win games. But for Spectre, you get the best of both worlds. I still get to farm on the map, but I also get to show up to fights, which is important. And then I'm just sending my courier to prep for my Abyssal, which will make getting these kills easier. I realistically could jump that Shaman mid. It's just a little bit dangerous. I probably should jump him. Yeah, I finally like realize. See how simple that is? And you can just do that the whole fucking game. The whole fucking game. You just go on him. Decided to go in the AM because he was gonna kill my friends, which he did still kill my friends. Kind of running out of HP here though. This is where I finally did too much. They were alive for a long time. I didn't get experience for that kill, unfortunately, but I mean, I did an insane amount of damage. Now I'm dead for forever. Oh, I should look at net worth. Huh? When your net worth's are this much above your opponent's Spectre, that's where the game kind of gets easy. And that's just because almost always you will outtrade your opponents just because of the fact that you have dispersion. No matter what items they buy, 20% of their damage is going to be blocked and reflected to them, you know? So it's a big swing of, like, you out-carrying. It's, like, kind of... Remember how, like, dangerous this was. He should have just ultied right away, probably. He, like, actually almost killed 2 heroes. Alright, and then final item I would buy based on, like, what the game circumstances are like. Scotty's pretty good because of the Luna. Stops healing, but it's not very good against Wraith King or Am. But the stats are good. The HP is good. Yeah, when there's 3 heroes here. It's unfortunate. I queued up Mage Slayer because after the last fight, I was clearly taking a lot of magic damage. And being able to stop their magic output, I thought would be helpful. And it gives you mana regen as well, which I thought that I would actually require. I was thinking about using this. I do really like the Elven Tunic, though. So it feels kind of wrong to get rid of it, but bonus damage is solid. It's still probably better to use, though. That guy looks very dead. The whistle, of course. This guy is not blinking. I don't know why. Now he's silenced, which is great. AoE stun's so good against Wraith King ulti, actually. I did not get a bash. I was looking rough. Until this. Should have daggered. I'm gonna go back in time. I'm gonna check that out again. That was bad. I thought I had a dagger, so I tried to run through the trees, but it looks like it was available. I just didn't use it. I needed to dagger here and get through trees to survive. That was bad. Anyways, still a pretty good fight. Did I haunt? I still did like a metric shitload of damage, which was good. I don't know what component it was. I guess we could check. Mix of everything. Reflection, Radiance, Desolate.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, reflection stuff. Physical and magic. That's throwing me at this guy. Mostly physical, because he was BKB'd the whole time. Mostly physical, but definitely some pure at the end. Okay. So I die again. Unfortunately. But my net worth is still really high. Ninja Gear sounds good because it kind of gives me what I want, which is armor, damage, movement speed. The active of it is bad because I don't really need it to approach fights at all. If I had that ready, I would have gone on that guy right there. I'm just watching for him now. I know he's there somewhere. See how easy that was? And then I also cover my Kunkka as well. I'm gonna bash this guy. Alright, so we won that fight. That one went a lot better because we traded basically 2 heroes for a BKB. We got the Shaman so easily, and the Anti-Mage died quite quickly too. Anyways, and now that I've got Mage Slayer, I've got extra magic resistance. Excuse me. Oh, my dust isn't ready. It's in my backpack. I could maybe jump from here though. Nah, I guess not without Manta. If I had Manta, maybe with ulti. This stun actually felt scary to me. This is kind of weird by me. I feel like I could have jumped faster, maybe saved him, but
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, we don't need to stay for this.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
So, the other cool thing about Mage Slayer, it does give you attack speed, gives you mana regen, gives you some mana.
Radiant's bottom tower
The base
is under
components are
attack.
really strong for carries at this stage of the game, typically. And pro games, it tends to matter a little bit less because fights are a little bit more clean. So something like a BKB is generally just safer to have. This is arguably the best neutral item I can get because it is going to layer my evasion that I wanted before. So now my evasion is 32% plus the Radiance mischance. So my evasion is going to be more like... well, this is 58, right? No, it's 68.
Arms for the dead. Rubble.
68 times 0.85. So I have 50... I have a 42.2 evasion between the mischance from Radiance and my evasion. So this is one of the better neutral items you can have. And it's more magic resistance too. So now my magic resistance is 54%. So yeah, this is like the best, one of the best Spectre neutral items for sure. Having these like late game magic resistance things really increases your tankiness and makes it a lot easier to like live when those in those late game jumps. I'm gonna jump right away and I'm gonna bash him with Abyssal to guarantee we have the setup. And then I'm gonna go to the rest of the fight. I used Taunt to try to figure out where the rest of them were.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Oh, I forgot
attack.
about the shard. I finally bought shard. Probably should have bought it earlier.
Dire's bottom barracks are
Shard
under
probably would have been nice because it would keep the daggers on the ground. And I ended up going, I didn't talk about this, but I went the Spectral Dagger slow and bonus instead of the health talent. So if you have the shard, it shoots out a dagger for every 300 damage absorbed on a 7-second cooldown. And that would mean that every time that I get a dagger thrown out, I get movement speed and attacks, or movement speed bonus, and they're
Radiant's
slowed,
bottom
which is really good,
tower is
obviously.
under attack. Radiant
I'm just looking for
structures are
literally anyone to
fortified.
appear on the map, and then I'm going to kill them if I can. I think we talked about finally taking Roshan. Spectre's not that bad against Roshan once he's got Manta. Getting that extra pure damage does a lot. And then I finished Bloodthorn as my last item. Attack speed. Attack speed, damage, mana regen, magic resistance, mana. Int, that is. And then some crits, and then I can use it on the guy that I'm killing. Does that look like a lot of damage to anybody? It's a lot of damage. I don't even think I need this. This is our fucking first Roshan, which is unreasonable. We definitely should have done it before now. But we kind of always had lanes to push is what it felt like, even when we did win fights. But attack speed with Abyssal is good. I'm pretty pleased with what I'm sitting on. I drank a Clarity here just to give my mana a little bit more full. I could have maybe jumped the AM here. I should be more careful watching my map when you're playing this hero. You can see so many things. Like you can jump on anybody that you can see, so I should really be looking at like every hero that I'm looking at. Like right there, I could have killed that guy. If I'm fast enough. Reality, Hauntin, Abyssal him,
Radiant's top
Manta,
tower is under attack.
Bloodthorn, he dies. Maybe I get punished afterwards, but
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
same with this guy pushing. Kind of want to go kill him, but it's just probably not worth it. I should be looking at any of these guys. My camera is there. That's where my camera should be. Just gonna hit the tower so my supports don't have to worry as much. Reality on that guy.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
I didn't really cover my disruptor very well there. The Luna lived. Oh, I should have definitely haunted for the Luna. Holy shit.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
I'm not even like looking at the rest of the fight. I'm so focused on this guy. Okay, Luna ends up dying, but I really should have haunted and killed Luna. I didn't realize she got away with like 1 HP.
I renew my oath to defeat all sorcerers.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's top
How much
barracks
damage I do?
has fallen.
Probably a lot, yeah. You just gotta like auto attack. You do a lot. And you get this farm.
Radiant's middle tower is
Jump,
under attack.
use Abyssal or Bloodthorn, disable him, he dies. I could probably haunt. I have no Abyssal, I guess. It's a little spooky, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower
I'm gonna
has
heal
fallen.
and haunt. I actually didn't want him to do that.
Radiant's
Because now I
ancient
can't
is
just
under
haunt.
attack. Dire victory.
It's okay though. So yeah, that's Spectre. Obviously an extreme game where I have like an insane amount of kills, but it's fun. Consider fitting in a Mjolnir, or sorry, a Radiance. If you don't want to do Radiance, and you don't want to go Falcon Blade, you can go Blade Mail first maybe as your build up. But pros are going, like the one pro I saw Mickey go Blade Mail into Ags, into Manta. You can go Radiance into Ags. But definitely you should fit Ags in because it just gives you so much kill potential on the map against supports. Make the supports like hate you for every time they go to D-ward. You just jump in and kill them and then jump away. I don't think I did that very well. I think when you haunt to somewhere, an illusion goes to where your illusion was. So you can actually jump in Manta, like stun the guy and then jump back. So like it's just illusions there. It's not your real hero. You can do it in a much less dangerous way that I didn't do this game. Against better players, you're going to have to do that. But, yeah, for your guys' average level or whatever, it's fine. I'm taking damage, that's why. So that's why it's zapping. Shoots out a zap every 10 seconds. It's funny. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you later. Goodbye.